Hello everyone, it's Christine here and I'm back to share a Stitchery square that I've created as part of the Great Big Little Stitchery Swap, which is being hosted by the lovely Annie Claxton over at Arty Farty Annie. So I'll include a link to that below. Now this Stitchery Swap square is for the lovely Anita, and Anita goes by the name of Shabby Quilt on Instagram and also on YouTube. So I'll include a link to her Instagram where you can see some of her other work. So I've based this square on some of the things that I know about Anita, and they are that she likes vintage pinks and greens. She likes Tilda style fabrics and Tilda fabrics themselves, and she likes caravanning and traveling in her caravan. So there have been some of the inspirations. I also picked up from the square that she sent me in a gorgeous paper collage, very sort of, I guess, scrapbooky or junk journal style, that she enjoys that sort of look as well. So I've taken the inspiration of, I guess, a junk journaling and transferred it also into this fabric setting. So let me take you through what I have done here. So starting with the backing pieces, I've used just some little charm squares in coordinating colours, and once I take everything out, you'll be able to see more detail of those. But lovely pinks, soft pinks, with just little sort of hints of green and a couple of other colours into the mix. I've then used one of my hexagon flowers. Now these are my second smallest hexagon template. So I use the Epiflex reusable plastic templates, an Australian invention. I've got other videos on those. I'll try and remember to link those in the description as well. And I've used those to create a little, I guess, a pouch, and then combined that and attached it onto this little, what I'm going to call a belly band. It's used in junk journaling terms, and that's holding some things into a little pouch. So with the hexagon flower, I've actually just only attached it by these two bottom hexagons, and then I've attached these upper hexagons onto the little fabric belly band. I've used two of my lovely antique mother of pearl buttons over here, and I've put little French knots all around the edging as the sort of the holding stitch, a decorative holding stitch. So let's take out the contents of, we'll start with this one actually. So I've created some little, like, I guess, little postcards or little things you might collect on your travels as little bits of memorabilia. And I'm thinking if you're in your little caravan, in caravans, you always need to have handy places to kind of put things in a compact way. So that was also my inspiration here. And so I had a lot of fun creating this very vintage styled caravan. I'm sure it's not what Anita's caravan looks like. Who knows? She can tell us. But a vintage styled caravan. I created it first on a piece of fabric, put some interfacing on it, and then attached it onto this second bit of fabric at the back. And it's got a very cute little vintage pink button wheel. And I just love the backing fabric. It's just so gorgeous. And then I've overstitched around the edge to attach this side to then this side, which I had to include a little bird's nest because in the piece that Anita sent me, it had a beautiful bird. So I think she probably likes birds. And so this is from a Kathy Holden fabric. And I've just then added some little detached lazy daisy stitches as little leaves to just add to the scene, and then attach this little piece down. So yeah, that's stitched all around the edge. So it's it's very even though it's raw edge, it's very safe and it won't fray or anything. But it's got a piece of interfacing as well in the middle, just to give it a bit of structure. So when you pull it out, it's not flopping all over the place. So that is that one. Let's pop that up here. Then I've made a little, I guess like a card addressed to Anita. Again, this is from a beautiful Kathy Holden. I think it's actually a junk journal styled fabric collage from Kathy Holden. And so I've used that, and then I've just stitched in a really nice soft greeny, I guess it would be like a pale minty green. I'm not sure how to describe it, but I just wanted it to be understated so it didn't sort of overpower the design. But that's, yeah, got Anita on it, and then another little vintage button. I have to show you actually my little jar of vintage buttons. I just love looking in at these. It's just so nice, so many different buttons, and I just adore the tiny little ones. So sweet. And so nice to be sharing some of my vintage buttons out. So that is that one. Oh, sorry, did I show you? No, I didn't show you the other side. So this is the other side, which again has a Kathy Holden little square, and it says Quackenbush and Co. Silk Department, and then it's got a beautiful vintage style bouquet of flowers with a piece of fluff on it, which we will take off. So that's that one. Oh, and again, I just used just a regular, actually one of the vintage cottons from my partner's mum. I can't quite see where it is on the table, but just a beautiful neutral coloured vintage cotton just to stitch all around the edging of that. And again, that's got a piece of interfacing in the middle, so it's still very flexible, but it holds its shape a little bit when it's being taken out. And then I've got this little one, again with another cute little button, some beautiful vintage lace, and then another little image from the Kathy Holden fabric of some birds and flowers. And then this one has my little customary love CO that I'm putting on all my pieces in one way or another, and some more beautiful fabric there. And I just left the little fringing edge of the Kathy Holden fabric because I thought that was quite sweet as well. Again, it's all stitched around and it's got some interfacing in it. But I just love the little swap cards. I think I would be delighted if I got this. And that's kind of my theory for everything. Create something that I would be delighted to get. And then hopefully it has that same impact on, the recipients. Oh, I have to show you something very cute with the caravan. I even used some little bits of lace to put some little lace curtains in the windows of the caravan. I just think it's all those little details that just add to our stitchery. I do have to at some point tell myself when I'm working on one of these pieces just to stop. Okay, it's enough. Now, I haven't shown you this yet. So this is, let me just hold it up. This is a vintage piece of applique and embroidery that I've cut out and then raw edge appliqued down myself. So that just introduces a little bit of yellow, which just then matches with the sort of the yellow down here. And I think, oh yep, and then the yellow in this. So it's just nice to have some little other subtle references. And there's even a little bit of yellow in this base fabric. And as I mentioned, I've done stitching all around with little French knots to create little roses that are almost like little pins or something, sort of holding the piece in place, almost like split pins that you might use in junk journaling. And as you can see, this is the little pocket, so the hexagon's attached onto here, and then it opens out as a little pocket. It's still open here, but the good thing is the pieces are attached in because it's anchored. It's got that belly band, so that means nothing's going to fall out because it's really just that distance that's the open bit of it. And then I've just done some other decorative stitching just to hold the pieces together. For Annie, here's the back of the piece, so you can't see that much. I used some very pale pink thread in different places, some white thread up here, some stitching across here to hold all the pieces, a few little bits of stitching over here and there. But yeah, pretty neat on the back, because I guess most of it's actually happening on the front, and obviously the hexagon was stitched ahead of time, and again that has that interfacing backing on it just to keep it a bit sturdier and give it the neat finish at the back. So that is my Stitchery swap for the lovely Anita. So I'll pop these back in. But yeah, I just love that little caravan. I think it's incredibly sweet. So I hope Anita will like that. I hope you liked seeing this. If you'd like me to show on video, make a separate video with any of the sort of the components that I've included in this and see how I make them, let me know. At the moment, I'm just so busily stitching that I haven't been putting the video on for the making. I've just been showing you the completed squares because I've got over 20 squares that I'm creating and sending out into the world. So that is the square for Anita. Take care, everyone. I hope you're having a lovely day. Hope you're having some creative time, and I will see you soon. Bye, everyone.